you tired, Hootle?
You sure he's not just trying to hide from us?
Ah, Calaglia. Feels like it's been ages.
And wasn't Zephyr with us too?
Dad.
Hey, chin up. This is your whole...
Oh, just one thing after another, and it all falls on my head too.
Hey, Nath.
What? Can't you see I'm... Alphen?
Looks like you have your hands full.
As much as ever. As if I wasn't busy enough putting down the last remnants of Renan rule, I'm up to my ears in Dahnan disputes. And then, to top it all off, that thing had to come crashing down from out of the sky. But enough about my problems. What can I help you with?
Yeah, we're looking for an old Renan starship. You wouldn't happen to know any around these parts, would you?
A starship? What do you need one of those for?
To get to Lenegis.
Lenegis? Are you out of your damn mind?
Believe it or not, it wouldn't be the craziest thing we've done recently.
Well, I believe it. Well, either way, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about a starship.
Then do you have any historical records by chance?
Sure, we've got stacks of old records.
Mind if we take a look at them?
Yeah, okay.
Thanks, Nath.
I read through all of the records, but I only found a single line that might point to what we're looking for. It mentions a rock that shot across the sky and landed past the mountains.
And you think that might be the starship?
I don't know. There was nothing else in the records that came even close. It looked like it was someplace called Berg, but maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Berg?
That ring any bells for you?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest volcanoes in Calaglia. I was just there recently, investigating a report of a meteor someone saw.
Another meteor in the same area?
I wonder if it could have been one of those lights that shot out of the wedge.
All the more reason to check it out. Can you tell us how to get there?
The old Zion mine is up that way. One of the veins we abandoned connects to the volcano. Go ahead and use that. But you should be careful.
Huh?
I don't know if it has anything to do with the meteor. But there's a giant Zoogle running riot in there. Never seen anything like it.
A Zoogle, huh?
Well, I turned back as soon as I caught sight of the thing, so I can't tell you much more. All right.
I guess...
Right.
I didn't like the sound of that monster Nath was talking about one bit.
Well, we have to press on. We're going through Zion Mine to Berg. Volcano. Let's move.
We've reached our destination.
It's quite hot here. The climate feels different from Menancia's.
It's gotten much cooler since leaving town, though.
Does that mean eyes were burning holes in us?
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
So we're back in the Zion Mine tunnels. Who would have thought we'd be going through this place again? This is where you and I first fought together.
And also the first time we touched, as I recall.
Wait, really?
Yes, really.
So this path is supposed to take us out to Berg Volcano?
We're not gonna see any lava burst out in front of us or anything, are we?
Don't get so paranoid you let a rock fall on your head, Law. So hot.
Well, yeah. We've reached the inner portion of Berg Volcano.
We need to find that starship. And fast.
Huh. Do my best!
I'm not! I owe you one!
Balance sword! China blade!
Take this!
Take cover when it calls up!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
You're mine! Strike! It's over!
Benediction light.
Lunar Rongo!
No armor can stop me!
Rising Weapon!
Remind me to stay on your toes.
You're mine! I'm not done!
In your destiny. Then tonight's meal is on you. Pick up.
Here I come!
Mike!
Going far enough!
Now you see what I can do!
You're mine!
Dragon Scout!
We may get out of this alive after all.
Easily do fate bad for
Just
me.
as well, I'm pretty sure we can handle anything. Hurricane Slice!
You're mine!
Beast of Balance sword!
Rising Wyvern!
Shot
Take it!
Heal my weary
Lunar
companion!
Rongo!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare the Malisha!
Shine!
Take this!
I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
Good to know my training is paying off. You can make plants grow instantly? What if we we use this for fruits and vegetables.
I'd rather not be our party's fertilizer. Thank you very much. Coming through.
Burn! Scattering in pieces! You're mine! Pierce through!
It's a duel of the arts!
We got flyers!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours! Sonic
Nothing gets by me.
Sonic thrust! Destruction!
Hurricane strike!
An astral arts?
That's my cue!
Shut him down! I'm ready! In an instant! Impact block!
Yes, I'm getting stronger!
Care to put that claim to the test?
I'd love to, but I got this thing.
Out of my way!
Breath of life. Heal my weary companion.
Armor won't save you!
In a bind?
Dragon shout! Hurricane
Flame
strike!
inside
The
me.
bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Fluid kick!
Hurricane!
Pesky air
Hold on to your arms!
All yours, Kisara.
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Take this! Its armor's too strong!
Split it open!
Be my guest!
You're yeah, appreciate the concern.
The sooner you stop
Make it rain! Go!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
We got some good equipment!
I can't say its appearance is to my tastes, personally.
Not today!
Denied!
I'm not done!
Carve through armor! In a bind?
You're finished! I'm ready!
Blow them away! How's that?
My turn!
Excelling.
Freaks! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Beast assault!
Bloody
Take this! No escape! Rising Wyvern!
Make it rain!
This one's got your name on it!
To action.
First strike! You're mine!
Now in the groove!
Pierce through! Inferno punch! Sonic thrust!
Negative
Destruction! Crush! Pierce through! Sonic thrust!
Dragon make it rain!
This one's got your name on it!
To action. So I still had room to grow.
No choice! No escape! This
Can't
one's
get
all
out of
mine!
this!
Unshot!
This one keeps charging us!
That's
Not
what my
today!
shield's for! Get behind me!
Got it!
Time to get out of the
Leave it to
way.
you! Rising Wyvern!
Appreciate the help!
Rising Falcon!
Take this!
All back in their defense!
Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara.
We did it!
Magnificently done.
Lunar Rongo! Rising Falcon! I'm not done! It's over!
Carve through armor.
I'm ready!
All yours, Kisara.
Now! You're mine!
Dragon Shout!
Strike!
Demon Lash!
Rising Wyvern! Rising Falcon! Pierce through!
Beast assault!
Tornado
This one's
drive.
all mine!
All yours, Kisara.
I've been doing really great lately.
face is starting to sting. And my throat feels super parched.
Here, have some water. Just make sure you don't drink too much.
Thanks.
We're in for a long slog with this one. Demon Blast!
Not again!
Blast denied!
Into everlasting. Take this!
You have to aim for the bright area on their back.
Destruction!
Tear them apart! Punch it left!
Destruction!
Smash you!
Hurricane Blast!
Now you're locked.
I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
To achieve such harmony,
Takes a singular will. Like this should be easy.
This one's mine!
Don't mind if I do.
Inferno
Your hide is thick as armor.
No further. Do it! We got the advantage. Blow them away! How's that? My turn! Take this! See what I can do! Dance on the wind!
First strike! Take this!
This one's mine!
Rising Star Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! Not a chance!
Scream.
Default!
Drag you down! Take this! I'm ready! Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me.
My best!
Take this!
Going in! Switch to auto!
Here I come!
Right here! I got it!
Are those rocks and skin?
Where are you going?
Get a word!
Earth smoke!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me.
No place here!
And hold on to your arcs. Here I come.
No escape! This
Take
one's all
this.
mine! You're finished! Eat this! Here I come!
No dawn
You're
will break
finished!
this night.
Crush!
How about this? Repel! I'm just getting started!
Lightning Meteor! Inferno Crossing! Going in!
Rising up!
Chance!
Take this! You're mine! Rondo!
I'm ready! Hey! Blow them away! How's that?
Now! Take this!
Inferno! Going in!
Don't mind if I do.
Ready and ready!
This one's mine!
Smash you!
Here it now! I'm not done!
Let's tear them up!
Do it! Finish!
Hey! Blow them away!
Not a chance!
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Looks like some solid equipment.
opponent like this should be easy. I'm not
Torn up!
No further!
Rip and tear!
The flame inside me yearns!
Eagle assault!
Eat dirt!
Now I'm in the groove!
You're mine!
Take this!
Strike!
Here goes!
Heal my weary confused!
Not on my watch!
Here I come!
First strike!
Switch to
I'll run you through!
The finish!
Make it rain!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action! Breath of life!
My turn!
Heal my weary
No
companion!
escape!
Eat this! Top shield and
Take this! Rising Wyvern!
Flaming meteor!
Sonic
I'll
Thrust!
face you! Eat this!
Destruction!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
Wow! Look what I just found.
Guess I misread the landing.
I'm like bait just ready and raring!
You're mine! I'm not done!
I'll smash you!
Rising Wyvern!
Now or never!
I'm not done! Lunar Rondo! Rising Falcon!
Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara!
We did it!
My turn!
Magnificently done!
Strike! This one's all mine! Pierce through! Crush! Pierce through!
I'm ready!
Take! Blow them away!
Now! Here I come!
Here goes!
Destruction!
Make it rain!
This one's got your name on it!
Action to action!
My turn! No escape!
Elusive deity! Eagle ray!
Sonic Thrust!
Take! Blow them away!
Not a chance! I'm not done! Rising Wyvern!
Hurricane!
Lunar Rondo!
Eagle fly!
You're finished!
I'm ready!
Destruction!
Tornado drop!
Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
This bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Courteous on
You're mine!
Now you see what I can do!
Rising Wyvern!
thrilling performance.
Exploit the enemy's weakness!
In an instant! Impact Block!
A comfortable win.
An opponent like this should be easy.
Radiant light!
No escape!
Regeneration! Regenerate!
You're mine!
Flaming meteor!
Elusive deity!
Take this!
I shall ensure you survive this.
It's over! Destruction! Sonic Thrust!
Here goes!
Pierce through!
What's this?
Sonic Thrust!
Flaming meteor!
Pierce through!
Now I'm real mad!
Now! You're
Idiot!
mine!
Dragon
Shot!
Inferno
Rising
punch!
Falcon! Crush!
Switch power punch! Piercing roll!
Another
Escape!
one down!
Move!
I'm just getting
You're
started!
mine!
Armor
Flame
won't
inside me
save you!
yearns to be let free! Sonic Thrust! Pierce through!
Dance to me!
I'm ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. Benediction light.
You're mine!
Eat this!
Heal!
Appreciate the help. Crumble!
Take this!
Talon Hurricane!
Do it.
Gotta be quick! Make it rain!
In an instant! Impact Claw! We're a pretty lethal combination, aren't we?
What can I say? I had a good partner.
It's on!
I'm not done! Ignite! Pierce through!
Dragon Shell!
Sonic Thrust!
This one's mine!
Pierce through! Sonic Thrust! Pierce through!
Hurricane Cosmite!
I'm not done!
Make it rain!
Sonic Thrust! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed
I'm
wall.
not done! I owe you one.
I'm gone!
Sonic Thrust! Pierce through!
I'm on it! Get behind me! Armor won't save
You're
you! Finish you
mine!
here and now!
Pierce through!
Make it rain!
In an instant! Impact Claw!
Lady Fortune must truly be watching over me. Callous. Calcified. Calaglia.
What kind of poem is that?
A sparse one.
Take this! Aim for the weak spot! Inferno!
I never miss!
Oh, now it's talking!
Blow them away!
How's that?
Acceptable! I'm not done! Pierce through!
Hurricane
I'm
Flash!
ready!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes. Shine.
Not a chance! No escape! Burn!
Anything in armor is all
Pierce
silent.
through!
I'll smash it! Watch
Sonic
this!
Thrust! I'm on it!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis! I'm ready for the next battle. Crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there'll be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't...
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily.
Take this! You're finished!
Take this! I can carve through armor!
Rising Wyvern! No escape!
Hurricane!
Rising Eagle!
Make it rain!
Light burst forth.
Radiant Genesis!
Going in! Super Swallow!
Talon Storm!
All yours, Kisara.
I suppose swords have their uses.
The size was a bit much, though.
Out of my way!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free. Take this! Lunar Rondo! Rising Falcon! Not today!
Now I'm in the groove. Make it right!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Armor won't save you!
Denied!
Can't get out of this!
Make it rain!
Rising Light!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
My turn! I'm not done! Destruction! I'm on Crunch! You're finished! Make Lusha! Destruction!
Hey! Blow them away!
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky!
An opponent like this should be easy. No escape! You picked the wrong fight!
I've got plenty to go around.
I'm not done! You're finished!
Now you see what I can do!
This one's mine! Now I watch!
Rising Wyvern!
All things burn now!
Falcon!
Now or never.
Destruction!
Sonic Spear!
No escape! Super Destruction!
Sharpened!
You're mine!
Heal! Thanks! No further!
Make it rain!
You're mine!
Inferno Punch!
Pierce through!
Now! Shattering the pieces! Attack time!
Ready to go!
You shouldn't have messed with me!
Burn it! Sonic Thrust! Pierce through!
Make it rain!
Sonic Thrust!
Hey! Blow them away! How's that?
Now! Take this!
Far enough!
I'm not done!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Benediction Light.
Take this!
Is that a healing art?
It is.
Sonic
Can't
Thrust!
ignore your pain.
Make it rain!
All yours, Kisara.
Now! I'm on!
Feel my
It's in the sky, it's mine!
No escape!
Swallow dance!
Wow, that was a nice move there.
I know, right? Bet you couldn't do it.
So it's a grab here, thrust the left leg, then use the right arm to leverage over...
Stop memorizing my move! What the hell is that thing?
Probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on.
Let's go!
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Here it comes! Focus!
On your toes, everyone!
Suddenly turning tail doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared!
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle?
Take care of them while keeping an eye on it.
Hurricane Strike! This one's mine! Denied!
This one's all mine.
Now I'm in the groove.
This one keeps charging us.
That's what my shield's for! Get behind me!
Good. I'll leave it to you.
Darkness.
Destruction! Here I go.
Round and pound!
Where are you going? Confiscated!
No further.
I'll finish you here and now.
Hurricane Strike!
You're mine.
Beast Assault!
Inferno punch. Take this.
Destruction.
I'll smash you.
Crush. Pierce through. It's wide open.
It won't escape me.
This one's all mine. Ignite.
Go away! Let's keep up the pressure!
Can't get out of this.
I'm ready. Doubling in an instant. Impact block. We work well together.
Like a finely timed ball.
Inferno Crossing! This one's mine!
Eagle assault. I'll grind you into dust.
Hurricane Strike!
Engulf you.
You're finished.
Look sharp.
Luna Rongo.
They thrilling
Rising
performance.
Falcon.
Talon Hurricane! Aw, too shy! Here, let me
I
help!
won't save you. Take this.
I'm not done.
Lion Howl! I'm ready!
You're finished. First strike.
I'll tear you apart!
Eat this.
Eagle Ray! Here, let me help!
Take this.
Lion Howl!
Here I come.
Inferno Crossing!
Use its weak point to take it down.
All together, everyone!
Doubling in an instant. Impact block.
Take this.
Here come more!
We'll just have to keep fighting.
Look sharp!
An astral ice.
That's my cue!
Shut him down. Crossover thrust.
Do it!
Pierce through.
Hey. Blow them away. How's that?
Now.
Except
You're mine. No escape.
I can carve through armor.
no further.
Hurricane
I'm ready.
Get toasty!
Burn strike.
Not a chance. I'm not done.
Talon hurricane.
Destruction.
Inferno punch.
I'll block it. You're mine. No escape. You may be strong. I can't move.
I couldn't make it in time.
Rip and tear.
Imbued its vanquished soul with life. Reformation.
I'm ready!
I owe you one.
Reinforcements incoming!
Not a problem!
Is even wider.
I'm on it.
You're mine. No escape.
Florida!
It's
My
over.
weary companion.
I owe you one for that. Hurricane Strike! How about this?
Now you see what I can do.
Make it rain!
Burn it.
Take
it.
In a bind.
It's over. Take it.
What's this?
Luna Rongo.
Next
Another incantation ruined.
Sonic thrust.
This is some punishment.
Come get it started.
You have to hold on! Hurricane Strike!
Take it.
I never miss!
It may be time to call a tactical retreat.
Don't mind if I do!
I'm already on it.
Lock, hold your place till I say so.
Inferno
Crossing! Hurricane
Here I
Strike!
come. My turn.
Going in!
Destruction.
I'll take you all on! Ha! Flare Demolisher!
This has a most peculiar taste.
Take this. I'm not done.
Regenerate.
My head's spinning just watching you!
Sonic thrust.
Nothing gets by
finished.
me! Denied!
Dragon Gem.
Sure
won't save you.
Look sharp. You're finished. Pierce through.
I'm ready! I'm ready!
Shine.
Eagle Assault! You go!
Rising Warrior. You're
Your death will wait. And tonight's meal is on you. Okay, go.
Hurricane Strike!
You picked the wrong fight. Rising Wyvern.
Anything in armor is all mine.
No rest
Art
for the
expert
wicked.
coming through!
Is this what real pain feels like? Forgive me. This is my fault.
Go away.
Black Soul!
Let us take to the fray!
Flaming meteor!
Sword!
Not in your dreams!
I'm ready! Blow them away!
Shine! Radiant light! Force of regeneration! Regenerate!
It's about to... Strike!
Look sharp, everyone!
Eat dirt! Everyone all right?
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
Out of the woods, it seems.
I'm ready!
How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alvin!
That's enough! Go back down!
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
I've been doing really great lately.
Hey, is that it over there?
Did we really just spend that much money?
Alphen?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
"3 centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals."
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders.
Right.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child.
Good idea. We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets.
Works for me.
Funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, after all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim.
No offense taken.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Shion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't
Because
we?
there are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana.
Look, none of us want to fight.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissance too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Shion can finally get rid of her thorns. Shion?
Yeah.
Where? Shion? Where'd Shion go? How could she just go off on her own? Shion. Shion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Volron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Shionne. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shionne, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first, but ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize My powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis. When the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renis Alma on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Alvin?
Living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen. We can fight this. Fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? It's your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys.
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope.
Huh?
Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events The end of the world.
I believe Shion is telling the truth.
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world.
No, I understand.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all.
Yeah, I remember.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelagian, when her thorns went wild.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going... Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain...
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know?
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams. But a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good.
I know.
She was so alone
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, but over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. No, I mean, I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her...
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say.
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadheim, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me, because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought... But after that day, one time became two, and before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then I realized I'd only really... Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going, but I swear I'll be there with you until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that! You're going to jinx us!
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but, well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shionne's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shionne? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though, you too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim?
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you've finished looking around the ship.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched, helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse, but then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, So be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live, but why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Xion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it, the true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Dahnan victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this together.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dahna in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. That should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean... you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Dahnans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh?
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renin ladder is considered superior to being a Dahnan. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this Red Woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. there's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis' infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a Sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renins. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?